up, guys? How y'all doing today? Well, baby, I don't know what's going on over in Saltine Island with Lord Baltimore, but we got to talk about it now. If you guys haven't heard it, and I'm sure you have, what's up, Sussex Squad? A couple of things happened. Harry is done playing with his family, and I don't blame him. They announced that Invictus was going to be in the UK. The UK press and royals literally were salivating like, Meghan better tighten up. Meghan better do this. Meghan's better do that. Harry looked at them and said, Meghan don't got to do a GD thing. And guess what? Meghan ain't coming. I said what I said. It's not safe. My family don't have security. The Invictus Games, I don't know why. And I know Harry is not the head of the Invictus Games, but still, from a logistical standpoint, it doesn't make sense that they had the Invictus Games in the UK. I'll explain later why. But Harry said, I don't know why y'all chose to have that in the UK. I guess you somehow thought that that was going to bring Meghan over. Meghan ain't coming, and neither is Archie or Lilibeth. So guess what? You get in this. You get in the red beard. You get in the red hair. Yeah, William, it's looking a little thin right there, but it still ain't bald like you. I'm still going into my 40s looking good. Now, that happened. Harry also threw up a protection around Meghan, being like, y'all are not destroying my marriage, and you're definitely not destroying the mother of my children. He then hit them with the who and the 1-2 punch, basically saying, guess what? And another thing, I'm not done with these lawsuits. And another thing, I can withdraw my lawsuits all I want because things are different in the UK. When you sue someone, you really don't get the windfall that you do in America. One of the reasons we put windfalls in there, and that means you're going to get a large sum, it's because you realize when you're suing rich and powerful people, the only thing they care about is their money or reputation. And if you take away one or the other, you are good. Okay. So we have that going on. But the interesting thing about this, and I thought this was the very most interesting thing, is he said, I don't care if I don't win this case. First of all, he's pretty much won, but a security case he didn't. And he said, oh, there's more than one way to skin a cat. How about this? How about I go on ITV? And how about I tell ITV what y'all been up to? How's that sound? You like the way that sounds? Oh, I like the way that sounds. He went on ITV and he was like, my mother was not paranoid. And even he basically said that old proverb, just because you're not paranoid doesn't mean they're not out to get you. Now, why do I say that? We're going to get into what this is about. In the middle of Harry protecting Meghan like his life depends on it, right? William is out there throwing Kate under the bus. I don't understand, but this is what Kate signed up for. Everybody must be a toy soldier that falls on their swords to protect William. There's one report coming out from Royal Reporter saying William refused to protect Kate during the Mother's Day photo fiasco. But this is Kate's life. And I think this is why Kate is always so angry, because at the end of the day, you're mad that your husband treats you the way he treats you. So you decide you want to make everybody else pay, and pay you will. Also, speaking of paying, you guys, tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be co-broadcasting and hosting. It is the Black Entrepreneur and Tech Super PAC. Of course, listen, a lot of people wanted to know what's going to be different. What's Kamala Harris going to do? Bah, 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 bah. You guys, I'm going to be co-broadcasting, speaking a little, but we're going to ask questions. Everybody talks about how are we going to make sure our agenda. This is the perfect way. Again, you asked, I gave. 8 to 11, come out and support. Listen, do what you want, vote for who you want. But if you want more information on truth versus made up stories, if you want information on how to recognize trolls, if you want information to what education, entrepreneurship, jobs, and I'm not talking about Twitter feeds, I'm talking about from experts, pulling up articles, giving real facts. If you want to learn more, I think this is a great way to join. You can RSVP if you have questions or if you want to speak, or you could just do listening. I'm going to be co-broadcasting. I will speak a little bit, but I'm going to let the experts take over. They'll be live streaming it on a million platforms. It's a chance to get involved, and I am excited. So Sussex Squad, come on. Kamala, I know I'm saying the name wrong. Forgive me, VP Harris. Let's just learn. I'm game. Are you? Anyway, y'all, let's get back into this, okay? Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about. Harry. Now, it's very, very interesting. Oh, if you miss it, you can catch playback. It's very, very interesting that when it comes to Harry, the Invictus Games going to the UK, I think that the royal family actually put their finger on the scale because think about it. I know Harry isn't the VP or the president of Invictus. He is the founder. So he has limited power. But let me just say this. The Invictus Games thrives off a good press. It thrives off a goodwill. That is what the Invictus Games does. I find it very disturbing that they would take the games to the UK in 2028, is it? Because they are going to have scandal after scandal. They're going to try to make the press will try to make them look bad, try to be a scandal. The royal family will either try to take over, but at the same time sabotage. In my opinion, I think that they think by 2028 they will have figured out a way to completely destroy the Invictus Games. Now, Meghan and Harry have stayed one step ahead of them, but you saw what they did to Meghan and Harry while they were in the UK. You saw how mean-spirited they were about the Invictus Games. Again, Charles might not even be around in 2020. What is it? 2027, 2028, something like that. Charles might not even have been around. So it's going to be William the Cruel at the helm. I do think that I don't know why the Invictus Games, the CEO person, would put themselves in the middle of that because at the end of the day, it's just a PR nightmare. Why would you go to a place that wants to have bad press just because it's something Harry made, so they need to destroy it? But whatever. Anyway, let's get into the way William is. And on one brother is protecting his wife, windmilling, and the other brother, oh God, in between tending rose bushes, he just can't be bothered. Here's what it says. Meanwhile, Catherine unexpectedly became the center of a media storm. They're talking about when she went missing for 6 months. And I don't care what the trolls on Twitter says. I just don't. She went missing for 6 months. There were fake AI videos. There were deep fake pictures. There was a warning put on the AP press. She did not like the fact that no matter, great, she's alive, but where was she? It's weird the way everybody wants to skip over that. And no, the fact that you try to literally give AI fakes and AI fake Kates as a way for her being around, it's just weird. Anyway, they said, meanwhile, Catherine unexpectedly became the center of the media storm. Her absence from the public stage had already fueled frenzied internet conspiracy theories by the time she released a family photo to mark Mother's Day, which she digitally edited. I'm reading this in real time, so I'm interested to see whether Kate's mad that William is like, whatever. The doctor photo sparked a furor, leaving the fragile princess saddened and deeply embarrassed. Naively, she edited the best shot taken by William at least 3 times to make the family look better. Yet people were immediately noticed something was wrong with Princess Charlotte's sleeve. I'm going to save my thoughts for the back. Even the White House press secretary mocked the royal couple, giving the U.S. press corps assurances that no images by them would ever be doctored. Despite the clamor, the palace refused to release the original photo, which only sparked further fevered speculation. Close sources say it was Prince William who refused to budge. His PR team suggested he and Catherine issue a joint statement to help deflect the blame from her. The initial prepared statement used the words we and our, but the prince decided not to release it. After all, it was his wife who manipulated the snap and nothing to do with him, and that the press found out that he was covering for the princess. The speculation would only grow. When the statement was finally issued, it came from Catherine alone. Now, aside from this showing William to be the biggest jerk in the world, and I mean biggest jerk in the world, can we just decode this? Because, just hear me out. You know, all the speculation that Catherine was never sick and it was just all some big divorce negotiation And Catherine basically went into hiding because William wanted to divorce her. And she was like, I'm not divorcing. And she literally went into hiding not to do the divorce papers. And it wasn't until William agreed to some separation that gave her a little bit of power that she even show her face. But even then, William doesn't want her around in official events. So he is basically phasing her out. Say what you want. We saw Kate at Wimbledon. I know some days are better than others, but come on, let's be serious. It's interesting that William is acting like Catherine was lying about having cancer. And William was acting like if he helped Catherine lie, he might get caught up in it. And William, y'all want to talk about like, yeah, racist. Talk to the MF and future king. Because he's the one that's also acting like, it's almost like you lie to get off of work or out of school and somebody's like, oh, did you? And you're like, huh? Oh, I haven't seen them. You're not going to blow their spot up, but you don't want to get involved in that lie. Can anybody understand why that happened? Again, he refused to budge. And if you look at all of the mistakes in her releases, in the Photoshop and all this stuff, it makes it seem like, right? It makes it seem like William was like, you're on your own. We saw the $1.99 wigs, and please don't say she was sick because they said she wasn't sick last year. We either believe them or we don't. Okay. When he was buying her like these $1.99 wigs and stuff, you gotta think about it. Yeah, that actually makes sense. I'm just trying to my head because why would a man, if you want to believe the dumb derangers, right? Why would a man who knows his wife is suffering from cancer and she's so sick she can't even be seen, and she's so ashamed of the way she looks that she has to Photoshop, even though the palace has an official photographer that photoshops all their images. Every single image you see is photoshopped. Every single image, okay? You have a team to do this. Why were you? And the fact that they're trying to make it seem like it was just Photoshop when it was a Frankenstein photo or nothing was real. And you think about the releases Catherine made, the spelling errors, the this, the that. I mean, Catherine got an art history major. And again, I'm the biggest misspeller in the world, so I'm not judging, but it seems like someone whose job wasn't press secretary was involved in that. If you want to look at it like that, it's almost like William is like Catherine was lying. And this would explain why. Because there's either two options to me. Three. One, I'm reading too much into this. Maybe. Two, William is an absolute sociopath. And while Kate was suffering from cancer, he didn't care. He even went tans. People tried to give him cards. He was rolling his eyes. He never wanted to talk about his sick wife. He was always, and when it came to her actually getting raked publicly for all this, he just let her because he was like, I don't want to be involved. Right? Or three, he was like, Catherine's lying. He couldn't say she was lying because it would have bought down the monarchy and made them look like absolute sociopaths. On top of that, Catherine knows a lot of William's secrets. So you see what I'm saying? Anyway, right? So his PR team was like, issue a joint statement. William was like, absolutely not. Then came her deeply shocking video announcement that she had cancer and had started preventative chemo. Two pillars of the monarchy were now facing serious medical challenges that would impede their royal duties. In Catherine's case, for months, the Sussex-shaped void in the royal family has never loomed so large, yet there is no question of them stepping in to help. William remains adamant about that. As for Charles, he let it be known that he'll never shut the door on a second child. Charles, shut up. Not only did you shut the door, but you nailed it shut and then threw boiling hot water on the doorstep just in case they were knocking on the door. Though there seems little chance of meaningful reconciliation for now. The Harry problem, as it's known among palace staff, continues to plague the king. What worries His Majesty and his top team is what is going to happen when all the money runs out. You guys, the fact that the Sussex are doing really great for themselves, the fact that Harry has inheritance, the fact that Meghan has savings, the fact at the end of the day, they act like these people are Fergie and Andrew. What happens when the money runs out? But yet and who's this? William and Charles were making them pay rent on a cottage, weren't paying for Meghan's clothes, weren't paying her Meghan a fee, and Harry, I think, was only getting paid somewhere between 150 and 300,000 a year. What do you mean when the money runs out? They have enough money to live how they want. Yes, $14 million mansion is a lot, but they're rich and they can have it. We'll talk. Listen, at the end of the day, I guess they think the royal family are the only ones that can ever have anything. Again, this to me shows that William is cold hearted. William is a snake. And William himself seems to be admitting, or at least acting like, Catherine's story of being sick was all facade. Because again, you can't have it both ways. Was your wife really that sick of cancer, but you refused to help her out? Or did you know she was faking it? And this was like a clever chess move orchestrated by Carol. And you were like, you can go sink or swim on your own. Anyway, y'all, let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.